De Young, who inherited the mandate of heaven and earth, defeated the tyrant of the previous dynasty, ascended to the throne of heaven, and declared himself emperor. Under his rule, he founded the world capital and established a centralized state where he ruled over 72 vassal states spanning 4 seas and 9 continents. For 444 prosperous years, the empire flourished with an abundance of goods and people, enjoying an era of peace and prosperity. Upon ascending the throne, the new king implemented national policies aimed at cultivating the land vigorously, supporting the people through low taxes, and ensuring security by rooting out thieves and invaders. These measures earned him tremendous support and admiration from his people, which cemented his rule for centuries. Centuries later, nestled far away from the bustling capital city, Mount Qingping towered majestically above the clouds. At its peak, the hidden Immortal sect quietly thrived, having been established for 27 years. Renowned for its elusive nature and minimal interaction with the outside world, the sect maintained its mysterious aura. On an important day, the sect's founder ceremonially opened the gates, marking a rare occasion. Emerging from within, disciples gathered to undergo an evaluation of their cultivation achievements over the past year. This ritual not only measured their progress, but also reaffirmed the sect's dedication to the path of immortality and enlightenment. The disciples line up to be evaluated. First Chen, then Man Qingyin, and Eli, who is out of position, followed by our protagonist Chen Shuan, who is contemplating the twists and turns of his fate. He recalls the events leading up to his reincarnation. In 2000, he worked hard in the design department of Qingping Company, often working overtime to make ends meet. His life took an unexpected turn when he joined the army, driven not only by duty but also by his unrequited love for a woman named Xiaoli, whom he idolized as a goddess. Chen Shuan vividly recalls his numerous failed attempts, a total of 66 times, to ask Xiaoli out before finally getting a date to watch the meteor shower. He recalls the moment as a potential escape from his ordinary life and a gateway to happiness. However, fate intervened unexpectedly, taking her away in the heat of the moment. When he regained consciousness, he found himself reincarnated as 7-year-old Chen Shuan in a world full of cultivation. To her amazement, he had an extremely handsome appearance in this new life, in stark contrast to his previous existence. The circumstances of his reincarnation made him question the twists and turns of fate that brought him to this unfamiliar world, where cultivation promised to unlock his true potential. With a smile on his lips, Chen Shuan entertained the thought of making use of his striking appearance to earn a living, unaware of what awaited up there. Suddenly, a stack of books fell on his head, informing him that they were the sutras of creation and immortality, which demanded diligent practice. From then on, he dedicated himself to daily study, hoping to gain profound wisdom like the guidebooks revered by his brothers. Instead, he discovered practical matters such as how to survive in the wilderness, job hunting strategies, and the intricacies of bureaucracy. Just then, the door swung open, revealing their sect leader, Taoist Wu, stepping out. The disciples warmly greeted their teacher, and the Taoist singled out Wuma for praise. He praised Wuma's unwavering perseverance, noting how a year earlier he had been on the cusp of enlightenment and had now reached the golden pill stage. The Taoist assured Wuma that with the attainment of the golden pill, the formation of the primordial infant would soon follow, prompting Wuma to express his gratitude. Chen Shuan observed the exchange with great interest, contemplating the depth of his cultivation practice and the potential it held for his own journey. As he stood among his peers in the hidden Immortal sect, he wondered how these teachings would shape his destiny in this mysterious cultivation realm. After Taoist's departure, King Yin congratulated him, encouraging Taoist to acknowledge his progress, noting that while his realm was still in the fusion stage, his true Tai had consolidated significantly. He estimated that within half a year, he would be able to create a sea of Kai. The Taoist then turned his attention to the missing third disciple, prompting questions about Yili's whereabouts. Yili suddenly appeared on Chen Shuan's shoulder, cheerfully greeting Taoist and cheerfully hugging Chen Shuan. Taoist reprimanded Yili for her usual behavior, and in a joking tone, he said that her face was too beautiful not to melt his heart upon seeing her. This lighthearted banter continues until King Yin clears her throat to regain his attention. He questioned Yili's lack of discipline as a disciple of the hidden Immortal sect. Undeterred, Yili jokingly held up a mirror showing Chen Shuan's reflection to King Yin, teasing him about his apparent arrogance during their conversation. King Yin, caught off guard, blushed in embarrassment at being caught off guard. As the playful exchange took place between the disciples, Chen Shuan observed the dynamics within the sect with a mixture of amusement and curiosity. He marveled at the camaraderie and familiarity among the disciples, wondering how Li could find his place amidst their unique personalities and different cultivation paths. Then, somewhat annoyed by Li's playful interference, King Yin firmly stated that their competition would determine the winner, asserting her need for privacy. Li, unfazed, agreed with a witty grin, proposing that the winner would get Chen Shuan. Their competition amused Chen Shuan, finding it more interesting compared to the Immortality Sutra lesson. Turning to Toast and Chen Shuan greeted Toast, revealing his purpose for seeking her out. Toast warmly praised his appearance, likening Chen Shuan's face to the moon in mid-autumn and his complexion to a flower in spring. Toast noted how Chen Shuan had grown more handsome over the years. Intrigued by his development, Shu and Hu asked Toast about his cultivation ability, wondering when he would match his elder brother's achievements, given that he had spent the past 18 years studying the Sutra of Immortality. Toast affectionately pinched his cheek, reminiscing about his journey since arriving on the mountain 18 years ago. Reflecting on his time under Toast's guidance, Chen Shuan wondered how much he had learned and cultivated, eager to continue his journey within the hidden Immortal sect and contribute to its legacy. Affirming the passage of time, Toast reminisced about the past with a sense of nostalgia, saying that the past felt like yesterday. He then instructed Chen Shuan to follow him inside, indicating that there was something important to discuss. As Chen Shuan prepared to follow, the fifth disciple, known as Nameless, approached Toast, expressing concern that his cultivation realm had not been assessed. Toast quickly assured the boy that he was not being ignored. However, Nameless burst into tears, questioning Toast about his name, unsure if being called Nameless was a reflection of his status. Toast consoled him, urging him not to think about the meaning of the name. Nonetheless, Nameless proudly mentioned that he had spent a decade on the mountain and had reached the mid-stage of the foundation-gathering realm. Toast then offered Nameless a lollipop, suggesting that he enjoy it while Toast discussed matters with his fourth brother. As Toast and Chen Shuan returned inside, they did not notice that Wuma was clutching his book tightly, his expression tinged with sadness as he watched them leave. Inside, Toast asked Chen Shuan if he harbored any resentment towards him for not teaching him authentic cultivation techniques. Chen Shuan opened up about his aspirations for power to Toast, expressing his concern about whether he was destined to practice alone. Toast, visibly exasperated by Chen Shuan's paranoia, assured him that Chen Shuan's path was not the path to immortality, but rather the path to life on Earth. The Toast revealed that when he found Chen Shuan, the child had only a jade pendant and a note wrapped in his clothes. The note instructed whoever found him to take good care of him. The Toast added that Chen Shuan's parents had arranged a marriage for him upon reaching the age of 18. He was to seek out his relatives, becoming a foster brother if they had sons or marrying a daughter if they had daughters. Examining the pendant skeptically, Chen Shuan questioned the authenticity of the Toast's story. Toast, sipping his drink, told him about the challenges of living on the mountain, plagued by insects, rats, and thieves. He then challenged Chen Shuan, asking why he prided himself without solving these problems. The Toast placed his cup on the table, causing a few drops of water to spill, and solemnly conveyed the information about the matchmaking to Chen Shuan. He urged Chen Shuan to remember this information and not ignore it. Flicking the water droplets from his fingers with a casual gesture, Toast's actions startled Chen Shuan, who anxiously questioned whether his parents had indeed arranged 2 marriages for him. Toast gently touched Chen Shuan's forehead with his fingers, triggering a sudden wave of vision for him. Chen Shuan was astonished to see images of a woman with white curly hair sitting gracefully, and another woman with short brown hair dancing gracefully. The Toast confirmed that one of his future spouses lived in the land of Ji far to the west, while the other lived in the land of Yi far to the east, separated by thousands of miles. Chen Shuan expressed concern about Chen Shuan going down the mountain for the first time, fearing that his lack of training in immortality cultivation would endanger him on such a long journey. The Toast laughed reassuringly, dismissing their concerns by pointing out Chen Shuan's substantial progress in body cultivation and innate strength. He questioned their doubts of Chen Shuan's ability to survive. The Toast continued, explaining the wide variety of techniques available in the world: spells, immortal techniques, divine arts, and demonic skills, all attainable through dedicated practice. He emphasized that true mastery comes not only from knowledge but from relentless effort. Illustrating with an example, he described how even a small immortal, armed with powerful immortal arts, could struggle against a great god adept at sorcery. Conversely, a cultivator who specialized in physical and martial arts could potentially overwhelm a wizard with physical prowess, surpassing spells with a single blow. Chen Shuan stared at his palm, absorbing the Taoist teachings, and then respectfully bowed to the Taoist, signaling his understanding. Taoist nodded in agreement, encouraging Chen Shuan to start down the mountain. Chen Shuan, his siblings, were informed of his decision to leave, and expressed gratitude for their guidance over the past decade. Wuma, who was usually reserved, surprised Chen Shuan with a heartfelt hug, touching Chen Shuan's heart with this unexpected display of affection. Chen Shuan also gave Chen Shuan a parting gift, hiding something behind his back as he did so. Chen Shuan gracefully accepted the gift from Wuma, thanking him warmly as Wuma wished him a safe journey, unaware of the additional surprise hidden behind his back. Yeli, who approached with open arms, enveloped Chen Shuan in a tight hug, expressing her sadness at Chen Shuan's departure. Startled by Yeli's strength, Chen Shuan struggled for a moment before King Yin intervened, gently pulling him from Yeli's embrace and teasing Yeli for her excitement. King Yin then presented Chen Shuan with a talisman he had made with Yeli to protect them, assuring them of the talisman's efficacy in the face of whatever challenges they would face. Grateful for the gift, Chen Shuan thanked King Yin and Yeli, feeling strengthened by the support of his sect family as he prepared for the journey ahead. With a final wave of the hand and a heartfelt goodbye, Chen Shuan turned to leave. However, a voice called out behind him. Nameless, the young disciple, had yet to say goodbye. Surprised and touched by the boy's attachment, Chen Shuan knelt down, assuring Nameless that he did not intend to leave without saying goodbye. Shedding tears, Nameless embraced Chen Shuan, who comforted him with a hug, assuring him that his departure would not cause any grief. Together, they shared a moment of connection and understanding, their sex family bond strong despite the imminent separation. With renewed determination, Chen Shuan began his journey, carrying talismans and the sincere wishes of the sect members. The boy, trembling with emotion, introduced himself as Mu Myung, declaring his maturity and insisting that he would not shed tears. With a brave face, Mu Myung presented Chen Shuan with a flute, an object that had been dear to him since their first meeting. Chen Shuan gratefully accepted the gift, patted Mu Myung's head affectionately, and promised to take good care of it. As he turned to leave, Chen Shuan waved goodbye to his brothers in the sect, assuring them that he would return if possible. However, as he descended the stairs, sadness enveloped Chen Shuan's expression, his heart heavy with the impending separation from the sect family. Meanwhile, up in the clouds, Yeli expressed her concern to Taoist about Chen Shuan's departure, given that this was his first time leaving the mountain. Taoist assured Yeli that without cultivating the golden pill, Chen Shuan would not find his way to immortality easily. Suddenly, Taoist's appearance changed dramatically from old to young, shocking his disciples. He told them that they had fulfilled their destiny and encouraged them to return home. This transformation left his disciples in awe, pondering the profound mystery of their teacher and the path they were about to walk. Chen Shuan, carrying the Mu Myung flute and the blessings of their sect, descended the mountain with mixed feelings, yet also with a renewed sense of purpose and determination to face the challenges that awaited him beyond the familiar ground of their sect. As the hidden immortal sect gradually faded into obscurity, Taoists said that it was time for the traces of their world to disappear into the ordinary world. Amidst this melancholy atmosphere, Mu Myung in tears begged the Taoist to allow him to accompany them. Referring to Mu Myung as Wu Fei, Taoist reassured him not to worry, explaining that he was only showing him the clouds. Though Mu Myung tearfully questions if his name isn't Mu Myung. Meanwhile, Chen Shuan finds himself on a crowded street with a variety of people in bustling shops. While navigating the crowded street, he accidentally bumped into a girl, causing her to trip and sprain her ankle. Apologizing profusely, Chen Shuan offered to help, awkwardly massaging the girl's ankle until he was able to stand back up. As they stood up, a banana suddenly flew towards Chen Shuan's head, thrown by a woman peering through the window, who then asked him to get the banana for her. To Chen Shuan's surprise, a group of girls passing by were instantly mesmerized by his appearance, admiring him with sparkling eyes. Blushing from the unexpected attention, Chen Shuan found himself thrust into a whirlwind of encounters and interactions in an unfamiliar world beyond the mountain. Suddenly, a well-built man grabbed Chen Shuan by the shoulders from behind, accompanied by a bald man who declared that they were destined to be together due to possessing a copy of the chrysanthemum treasure code, which claimed to be able to take them up to heaven. Politely declining the offer, Chen Shuan thanked the man and quickly turned to flee, avoiding pursuit from the man and the bewitched girls. Moments later, deep in the forest, Chen Shuan leaned against a nearby rock, catching his breath as exhaustion washed over him. Contemplating the monk's formidable martial arts skills and the dangers that lurked beyond the mountain, he realized that the path down was more dangerous than expected. As he contemplated his next move, the haunting strains of a Chinese song floated through the air. Peering through the foliage, Chen Shuan saw a group of men carrying a coffin, accompanied by a striking woman dressed in white, prompting him to ponder whether it was some form of ritual.